Are you self-centered? Are you that individual, that person, that man, that woman that only focuses on just you? I'm not talking about you. I'm just asking a question. Someone asked me to speak on or touch on the subject of being self-centered. That was all of the information that they really gave me. Now, in time past, I have done a video or two on the subject or a similar subject of why people are uh, selfish and so forth. Uh, this is not too far off the beaten path. Self-centered is basically, take the words for face value. Self-centered. Everything about you is about you. You care more about you than you do your neighbor. Only what you're doing is the most important thing. And you have little to no concern about any accomplishments or advancements of anyone outside of you. You go to the grocery store, for example. You're pushing your cart down the aisle, and there's one bag of rice left on the shelf. And you spy a lady standing in front of you with her cart. She makes a statement. Oh, there's only one bag of rice left. Your cart is behind hers. And you say, yeah, I see. You know she's interested in the rice, but you pick the rice up and put it in your cart and you move about your merry way. What just happened? Self-centered. Or you're on your job. You have been wanting a raise, and someone else had gotten a raise, and you heard them talking about the raise during lunchtime. That they got 50 cents on the dollar in terms of a raise. In your mind, you're saying, I work just as hard as they do. Why didn't I get a raise? Instead of you congratulating the individual for getting a raise and saying, well, I'm happy for you, and going on your merry way. Self-centered, possibly. You're playing ball, and you're going to be picked for a team, and the people picking the team have chosen who they want for their particular team, but you wanted to be on that team that they're on just because you like the individuals that's on the team, but you were not chosen for that particular team, and you ended up on the opposing team. You feel like you are better than the team that you are on, not even thinking about maybe that I can contribute to this particular team and help them to be better and possibly win a game. Instead, the first thing you think about is that they are unworthy of you being there. You want to be on what you perceive to be possibly a winning team. Can you say self-centered? And let's say you are playing in a sport. Let's just pick basketball, for example. And you have some talent, but a basketball team is composed of at least 5 men on each team, right? And your team has equally skillful players, but you always want to keep the ball and keep shooting, even when you have a man that's free and close to the basket who can score an easy shot for you, and you end up possibly losing the game. Can you say self-centered because you only think that you are the one that is the most important? in your house, possibly when you were a child, you felt like you should always get the first choice of everything. Let's say you and some cousins and your brother and sister, if you have one, whoever your siblings might be, you're all enjoying one another on the weekend. They came over for a sleepover. And you have one television in your living room that all of y'all are supposed to share alike. You feel that you should control or dominate the programming on the television. And they should succumb to what your will is. They said, well, I want to watch this channel for a while. You said, no, I'm going to watch this channel. But you end up trying to monopolize the television for the whole period and not allowing them any say-so or any choice at all. Can you say self-centered? Can you also say that you could possibly be self-centered when it comes to money? Let's say you have some friends and you all go out to lunch and they buy your lunch this particular time. Maybe one of them buys your lunch at this particular instance. You stick your chest out, oh, thank you, sort of half-heartedly. The next time you all go out, the same friends, another one of your friends takes up the tab and he buys the lunch. Now, mind you, you have money in your pocket each time. So the next time you go out, let's say it's a total of 3 of y'all. So both friends have already bought lunch for everybody. Now it's your turn and they're sort of kind of looking at you like maybe you should pay it forward, or do the same thing in kind since they had done it before. No pressure put on you at all. And you look at them and you know you have money in your pocket and say, hey Jimmy, can you get my lunch for me this time? Can you say self-centered? Or we can even go to the homestead. Let's say you're married or you have a girlfriend and you're the guy. And she has money, you have money, and you go shopping, right? You buy the things that you want personally, and she buys the things that she wants personally. And then you're buying things together for the home. It could be groceries. It could be some toiletries, or it could be cleaning supplies or what have you. You get to the front of the line, you both are equally employed. And she goes in her wallet and she begins to pull out her money. Or her debit card even. And you say nothing, but you have money as well. You feel like she should foot the bill and you pay nothing at all. And if she said, can I get $10 from you? And the bill might be $70. Can I get $20 from you? And you, I don't have it like that. Or I don't have it. Or I have to do this and that. But you both equally went to the shopping center. And you don't want to contribute anything. Can you say self-centered? Now, it's unfortunate that we have people like this in our society or our world. But it should really, honestly, not affect you that much. You see, once you realize that these types of individuals live in our world and in our society, it should just be a point of you being cautious. You see, my philosophy is this. I'm not going to be burned more than once, maybe twice, by anyone. I'm not going to be taken advantage of more than once or twice by anyone. I might give them the first one and maybe the second one, but after that, it belongs to me. And you should take that same approach. Stop letting people take advantage of you that are self-centered. Don't allow their sense of just everything is mine and everything should go my way. Don't allow that to get under your skin. It might bother you at first. Take a couple deep breaths. You'll get past it. If it's family, it's a little bit more challenging, a little bit more difficult. Don't love your family anymore, or any less, I should say. Still love them the same, but you're gonna have to treat them with a long handle spoon and still love them. Still show them kindness and affection, but don't deal with them in certain aspects, especially when it comes to finances or money, because you really can't trust them. And the same is true with so-called friends. Sometimes people can be, so self-centered that they believe that they are simply an island upon themselves, unto themselves, and that nobody else exists but them. It has to be my way or nobody's way. Now, of course, this didn't happen when they became adults. This stems from their childhood. Someone more than likely gave them too much. Someone more than likely didn't teach them that everyone matters and not just simply them. Someone didn't teach them that you have to learn how to respect others' desires and or wishes and positions for that matter. Someone did not tell them that you can't have everything your way. Someone did not make them share with their siblings when they were coming up and make it a rule and ensure that they had a full understanding of why they had to do it, because everybody matters. You see, I know people that are self-centered, that is only about me. I do. But let me tell you this, something else that I want to add before I close on being self-centered. I've learned that you can be self-centered when it comes to issues and tragedies that we all face from day to day. I've seen and I've been in situations where I was going through something. True story. And this is more than once in my adult life. I was going through something and I had the burdens on my shoulder, the weight of the world on my shoulder. And no one really knew it because I wasn't sharing it. And I go to my job as I normally would and try to perform to the best of my ability. And then for some reason or another, someone would come and pass by me and stop and begin to share something traumatic that they were going through. And I almost turned them completely off because I was dealing with my own issues. Doesn't mean that my issues were not relevant or that they were not important and that they should have not been dealt with by me and that I was just going through some emotional situation. But what I learned about myself was that it's so easy sometimes to shut people off and dismiss people because of what you have going on with you that you consider to be important. And it was important. In most instances that I have dealt with, they were important issues. But I said to myself, they have a legitimate issue as well, Reginald. Table your situation for right now. And be that listening board to this man or this woman and see if you can provide some sort of comfort to them. Because you can address your issue afterwards. And it was a struggle because when you are dealing with certain things, especially relationships, relationship issues, and even death in your family, or someone who's fatally died in your family or passed away, or who's dealing with cancer and things like this. When you're dealing with these types of issues, sometimes you can close the whole world off and only be thinking about what you're dealing with. And we can still call that being self-centered. You see, we have to understand, albeit very difficult for many of us, that we really are and should be a village trying to help one another to get through this journey called life. Now, we have a tendency to want to be self-centered sometimes and all about ourselves and enclosed and wrapped up and tied up in us, and even off the subject a little bit, what I'm wearing to church and what I'm wearing to my job and my three-piece suit and my new outfit, it's all about me. As I'm strutting down the street, forget what anyone else is doing. I don't care how you look and what have you. It's all about me. We can get so caught up in self sometimes. As the old expression goes, we can't see the forest for the trees. We're blinded. So, I guess, in essence, what I'm saying is this. As long as that individual has this attitude of thinking of only self, as long as it doesn't interfere with your development and your growth and your advancement in life, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. So, if it happens to be someone that's close to you and it does indeed bother you on some level, maybe you should, out of love, just have a simple conversation with them and let them know that you have observed this behavior from them and ask them what's really going on. Do they want to talk about this issue? Oftentimes it's not an issue to them, it's only an issue to you because you're the one that's experiencing that thing. You observe this in them. But as I said, if it doesn't bother you, just ignore it and go about your business. And if it does bother you, keep away. Still have respect and love for them. That was really all I had to say. No one should ever affect your life to the point where you can't stand them or you hate them just simply because of their struggles as another man or woman trying to get through this thing called life. We all have fallacies, we all have faults, we all have issues. We have to learn how to better tolerate one another's. It's really that simple. This is Brother Teacher. I hope that this video was of some value to you. If it was, give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. And if you would like to share an experience that you have had with someone that was self-centered and maybe how it affected you in a good or a bad way, because you may have overcome that and been the champion and been victorious if it was really wearing on you. Or even if you used to be that person who was very much self-centered, even if you still are that individual. I would like to know. Take care and be blessed.